proper benefits. The Heisman Trust told ESPN the reinstatement of Bush's trophy comes as there has been enormous changes in the college football landscape, including student athletes getting paid. Well, buying a home is now more expensive than ever. A new report from Redfin found the median home price in the United States is now over $383,000. That's a record high. The economic research led, with Redfin saying prices may drop slightly in the coming months. And that's the latest. I'm Mike Moore from your 24/7 news source, the Black Information Network, and BINnews.com.
Visit Chevrolet of Montebello for spring savings. Lease a 2024 Chevy Trax for $249 per month or a Chevy Equinox for only $199 per month. Visit ChevroletofMontebello.com for details. Together, let's drive.
At Chevrolet of Montebello.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
A painful reality has made its way to Lakers Nation. The Lakers just aren't good enough to beat the Denver Nuggets. The Nuggets won by 7 at Crypto.com to take a 3-0 lead in the best-of-7 playoff series. This is the first time in LeBron's 21-year career that he's down 3-0 in the first or second round. If the Nuggets win Game 4 Saturday, the Lakers are done for the season. The Nuggets have beaten the Lakers 11 straight times, including 7 straight times in the playoffs. What is up with D'Angelo Russell? In Game 2 at Denver, Russell dropped a career-high 7 3-pointers. Last night, he couldn't bust a great. Russell was 0 for 7, including 0 for 6 on 3-pointers. He was scoreless the entire night. Not a good stat line for Russell's resume when the Lakers front office decides whether or not to bring him back next season. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. More news, opinions, and conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA Talk 1580 is dedicated to empowering our communities by providing progressive talk radio for our audience. We strive to be an intersectional voice for the voiceless. As a Black-owned and operated station, we are committed to highlighting diverse perspectives and creating safe spaces for meaningful dialogue. We believe that everyone has something unique to bring to these political, economic, social, and cultural conversations, and we don't shy away from the hard conversations about current events. We endeavor to be a beacon of hope and understanding while boldly challenging listeners to think more deeply about difficult topics that impact us all. With this in mind, our mission statement at KBLA Talk 1580 is simple: to create an inclusive platform that promotes civil discourse through honest dialogue and encourages personal growth among our listeners so they can become the active agents of change. Our vision is to establish ourselves as the premier radio network with relevant programming across the beloved community, connecting people through shared experiences and collective power for lasting impact beyond these challenging times.
First things first.
First things first, it's the DU General, Money B. I'ma put you up on the schedule, 6 to 9, 8 weekdays, not 2 and 7. Let's go. We got a lot to talk about, so much to pedal through. Unapologetically progressive. Tune to KBLA 1580 to get the mess. We're your ancestors' favorite radio station. First black on talk radio, left side of the nation. Me and Dominique DiPrima go way back. Time smiling, making sure the station stays black. Discussing all the issues in our community. We're hosted black and brown and others find unity. So let's talk about it. Maybe we can improve it. Digital underground, always down with the movement. So we tune in. The first things first with the queen of Black Talk Radio, Dominique DiPrima. Go sis.
First things first.
KBLA Talk 1580. Happy Friday. Good morning and God bless. I'm Dominique DiPrima. This show is called First Things First. That person over there, that's Sherri Bell. And look, my first thing every single day, giving thanks, giving praises, asking for blessings from God, asking for the blessings of the ancestors and the elders, and then stirring the pot. I think that's my job, stirring the pot and bringing information. And you're welcome to join in always, 800-920-1580. That's the direct line into this conversation, 800-920-1580. You can also weigh in, hop in, stop in on YouTube at KBLA 1580 or on any of our social media, same thing, KBLA 1580. BLA, like black, without the C and the K. KBLA 1580. And then mine is DiPrima Radio, DiPrima Radio. Hers is Sherri Del Ghetto. Look, the way we do things around here, first hour we look local. What's going on here? We're broadcasting from Lamert Park, Africatown, USA. Hour 2, we go national, international, and beyond. And in the third hour, we do a deep dive. On Fridays, though, it's Freedman Friday, so we'll be talking reparations, a comprehensive conversation. We do it every week. And then the hour after that, you can unpack what you heard, open phones, freestyle, Friday thing. So you can talk about what you heard in the reparations conversation. You can talk about what Sherri said, or you can make up your own thing. Yes, freedom. Okay, so let's do it. Sherri is an activist, a labor specialist, and much more. She is a KBLA contributor. Hi, what's up, Sherri?
What's up, Dominique? What's up? Y'all out there listening, happy Friday to you. Or if you watching this later on YouTube, happy whatever day you're listening to it.
Exactly. Man, and I love that Sherri Bell now has her own KBLA fan club. I love that. You're the Sherri Bell stands. If you're in the house, holler if you hear us. 800-920-1580, 800-920-1580. I know it's not officially election season, but tracking some of these, I mean, it is because you got, on the national front. Locally, it seems like we've had a little pause in the hardcore action.
Right. A lot of those mailers have stopped for now, but we know come what? November is the election, so when it's going to start back up again? This is
probably in a month or two, right?
Yeah.
August at the latest, I would think. So, here we go. But I'm also tracking moves. So I want to talk about a lot of different things going on, but one of them that we'll touch on is this case that Rob Bonta, the state attorney general, has brought against one of the deputies in George Gascon's office. And I'm going to go a little deep with that because make it make sense. It's giving me a headache just thinking about it. So we'll break that down. I haven't had a chance to ask you, Sherri Bell. You know that, of course, Dr. Cornel West picked Dr. Melina Abdullah as his vice presidential running mate. Of course, she's my friend. Yes. She's my colleague. Yeah. So I'm excited for her. And I'm also excited for us because it creates conversation. Dr. Cornel West, love him, hate him. He's brilliant. They're going to put pressure, I think, on Democrats and Republicans too, to an extent, to address different issues that they might not normally. But a lot of people, even people on this station, are just not happy about it because they feel that Dr. Abdullah and Dr. West, the two PhD ticket, will undermine the Biden ticket and take away black votes. What did you think when you heard that news?
Yeah, that's a common position. But at the same time, some people are just really fed up with, politics as usual and how, policies and, like speech doesn't really, like what people saying and they're doing, like their actions doesn't really seem like it's really trying to address some of the core issues within the black vote. The black community within black constituents, and really want to put pressure because, you hear the critique that, the Democratic Party often just takes the black vote for granted. You know, when it's election season, they'll come to the churches. They'll come to like CJ's on La Brea and Rodeo.
Right. Suddenly they know all the soul
Right.
food places.
Right.
Oh, you're at Doolin's again. Wow.
You know, exactly.
What will you be ordering?
Right. You know, going to the churches, but when they get in office, they're kind of soft on some of the decisions and laxed and taken for granted that because you're black, you're going to vote Democrat. And so I appreciate the issue that is raising. You got to take it for what it's worth. You got to be willing to listen. And if this ticket is saying things that is important and is true and is resonating about who's currently in office, you should at least be mindful. And if you have an opportunity to bring that up to the person in power, to be like, hey, what about this? What are you doing about this? Like, they're begging a lot of questions and a lot of decisions that have been made. So I think that it's important for people to really analyze and listen and hold who's ever in office accountable to, our position in this country. I mean, yeah, because it's almost like, with Donald Trump, when he said out loud, like, what do you got to lose? Your education is in the dumps. Your test scores are in the dumps.
I forgot about that. You guys are, basically you guys are screwed anyway. So what does it matter?
Right. But we're not screwed on accident. Like, we're screwed because of like the system of white supremacy intentionally. And like Akili would say, methodically, attacked us and like try to set us back. So it's like, should we just like vote for, anybody who, is just a Democrat because we're a Democrat? We should hold everybody accountable.
Well, I may be a tiny bit hypocritical here because I do partially blame Ralph Nader for us getting Bush because he took enough votes away to put the Gore victory in doubt. It really is Al Gore's fault because he didn't fight for Florida. He didn't fight for that recount. He let the Supreme Court make a decision. But I do, I know that people can act as spoilers. I do think that. Dr. Abdullah says no, that the data show that when more people are in the race, it's better for democracy and energizes races. I don't know. So maybe I'm being a hypocrite because she's my friend, but I do think we're at such a point where many people, especially younger people, are disillusioned with the top of the ticket. They don't want to vote for Trump or Biden. And so maybe those people will be like, okay, I'm going to go out and vote for Dr. West then.
Yeah.
And if that gets them to the polls, then that could be a net gain for some down ballot things where we need, more progressive or more enlightened kinds of voters.
See, I don't know. Like, I thought that like whoever got their political party's endorsement are the only two people on the final ballot.
But they're Cornel West and Dr. Abdullah are running Peace and Freedom Party.
So it's a totally different party.
Right, and they got their nomination.
Oh, okay. So
yeah. So you have Biden and Harris on the Democratic ticket, then you got on the Republican ticket Trump and whoever.
Yeah.
Probably not Nikki Haley.
Yeah, I'm wondering, like, do people know enough about the Peace and Freedom Party?
No.
So
because they got like 12. I mean, they Cornel West got under 2,000 votes in California. I was one of them in the primary because,
yeah,
Biden's going to win California, and I wanted to weigh in on it, and that was before he chose Dr. Abdullah. And then you've got RFK running
the no shoes and socks on the airplane guy, the conspiracy theory guy. Yeah,
he's running. I'm not sure what party he's running. If is he green? No, he's not green because Jill Stein is still on the ticket. So I don't know. He's running for some party. I haven't really looked into it. I was happy to see that polling from NBC seems to show he's hurting Trump more than he's hurting Biden. So, run RFK, run if that's the case. That's according to the new NBC News poll. When they just polled people Biden versus Trump was winning. But when they threw in RFK and Cornel West, then it changed to Biden winning by a hair. Yeah, actually by 2 points. Oh, Jill Stein, yeah, she's Green Party. She's still in there. She was polling at 3%. Cornel West was polling at 2%. Kennedy at 13. I mean, that is scary to me, to be
Well,
to
he
be
got
honest.
that Kennedy name, you know.
Yeah.
A lot of people, love them some JFK and, the.
Of course, 6% got not sure and might not vote. But yeah, I mean, but the Kennedy family came out and said this joker is not, we're not endorsing him. We're endorsing Biden.
Right.
He's not what you think of when you think of Kennedy.
Right. Yeah, the black sheep. No, but I think that it's important. I think what they're doing is amplifying some concerns and some real conditions that are impacting the black community on their platform. And I think that if anything, they're getting people to listen and wake up and pay attention to some inactivity that's been happening on people who have decision-maker power and political power on deciding who gets what, when, and how. And, I think that if that's what we getting out of it, let's take it for what it's worth. Splitting the vote, I mean, like I said, I don't know if people know enough about that particular party to go that way. But, I'm supporting the initiative. I'm not going to condemn them for splitting the black vote.
Yeah, so Republican voters view Kennedy 40% positive, 15% negative. Democratic voters view Kennedy only 16% positive, 53% negative. So that shows he's appealing more to the GOP.
That's something he's saying. I don't know what speeches he's been giving, but something he's saying is sounding like maybe some Republican talking points. That's raising their antennas.
This sounds familiar.
Right.
We like this.
Exactly.
Yeah, well, I think it's interesting. 800-920-1580 if you want to jump in on that, and we will love to talk about it. I do want to touch on this. What the heck is Rob Bonta doing when we come forward? Sherri Bell and Dominique DiPrima on KBLA Talk 1580.
She's reclaiming her time on KBLA Talk 1580. More First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
Did you know one of the best investments you can make? It's in yourself. At My Computer Career, in just a few months, you can start your new career in the high-demand, recession-resistant field of information technology. Isn't it time you invest in you and start a career in networking, cybersecurity, AI, or upskill to boost your current IT career? So get the ROI you deserve at My Computer Career. No experience necessary. Start now at mycomputercareer.edu.
Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
KBLA Talk 1580 is the fastest growing talk radio station in Southern California. Home to 50,000 watts and an audience reach of 12 million listeners. KBLA Talk 1580 is a pioneer for black audio content, including our groundbreaking $2 million climate justice campaign and the most loyal, influential audience. According to an independent research study by the polling firm Avitarus, for the second consecutive year, KBLA Talk 1580 is the most trustworthy, reliable, and credible news source for black audiences and beyond in Southern California. Let KBLA Talk 1580 power your advertising dollars. Our omni-channel custom marketing solutions are specifically tailored to connect with your ideal target audience. We leverage audio, podcasts, streaming, digital, social media, and local activations to get your message out to the black community. Get in touch with our advertising team today at advertising@KBLA1580.com. That's advertising@KBLA1580.com. KBLA 1580. We've got you black.
Are you wet shaving? You'll get razor bumps.
Nah, Pops. I'm good with Gillette Skin Guard. How long you been growing that beard Mama hates anyway?
Since 77. I shaved and got ingrown so bad.
That's why I use the Gillette Skin Guard razor, face scrub, shave gel, and moisturizer. So I don't have to worry about new razor bumps or shaving irritation.
Gillette Skin Guard, huh? Your mama's gonna love this one.
The best a man can get keeps getting better with Gillette Skin Guard. Buy now at a retailer near you.
JP Morgan Chase is building on the investments in California to help close the racial wealth gap and build a more equitable future. Visit jpmorganchase.com/racial equity and get the tools to help reach your financial goals.
Hi, I'm Reverend Gerald, host of Urban Family Focus here on KBLA Talk 1580 on Saturday mornings at 7 a.m. In an effort to help reduce the impact of hypertension in our community, Providence is offering free hypertension assessments. The first 30 people to visit KBLA1580.com and use the link or QR code to register will receive 2 tickets to the Amazing Grace Conservatory presentation of Aladdin, A Whole New World for Real, at the Crenshaw Performing Arts Center, May 25th and 26th. Go to KBLA1580.com right now and be one of the first 30 to register for your hypertension screening and receive 2 tickets to Aladdin, compliments of Providence and KBLA Talk 1580. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black.
Your ancestors' favorite radio station, and your favorite morning show host. Let's get back to Dominique DiPrima right now.
Right now, back to Sherri Bell. Sherri, I wanted to tell you that the LA County Department of Economic Opportunity is teaming up with the city of LA and our 2nd District Supervisor, Holly Mitchell, at the LA Coliseum. Okay, so 4/29 is Monday. That's anniversary of the civil unrest where we saw a lot of economic development kind of halted in the region. This isn't, directly connected to that, but I love that they're doing this Los Angeles Region Small Business Summit. It's launching a series of summits. It's going to be on April 29th from 9 to 3, and the county has a new initiative. It's called the Economic Mobility Initiative. They've got a bunch of other free programs for small businesses. Wow. And they can support you as an individual entrepreneur or a nonprofit organization or a business. Wow. So this is going to be all free, and it's going to be Monday, something, building business-wise to do for 4/29. I love that.
I love that, too.
LACountyEMI.com is where you go to register, LACountyEMI.com. And I think sometimes as Black folks, we don't take advantage or we don't know about these initiatives, these free support programs and such for our businesses. So I hope people take advantage.
I do too. There's a lot of Black vendors out there that are small business owners. A lot of them emerged during the pandemic. Yeah. So, if you're out there and you're looking for additional resources, I know there's grants available to expand, and people who probably have an idea. It's really exciting to have a whole business, or whether it's like a second job, so to speak. So that's really
side hustle.
I don't want to say side hustle, but side hustle.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. And and I always like this show because I feel like you gonna learn today.
Yep. LACountyEMI.com. Check it out. Okay, Sherri Bell. So the Attorney General for the state of California, our first Filipino American in that position or any statewide office, a reputed progressive who I voted for twice, has now brought 11 felony counts against the Assistant District Attorney Diana Tarrin, who is one of DA George Gascon, another progressive's right-hand people, for allegedly improperly downloading confidential records of law enforcement officers. Supposedly she did this in 2018 while she was working for the sheriff's department. And then he says she impermissibly used that data after going to work for George Gascon. Here's the thing. To break it down in layperson's terms, you're talking about a progressive attorney general bringing 11 felony counts against an assistant DA for trying to hold police accountable, which is what we elected him to do. And I understand she's not supposed to break the law in doing that. But her attorney says she's been cooperating with Bonta's office in this investigation, and they were blindsided by these charges. The reason I'm ticked off about it, and I truly am, what really, Bonta, houseway? Because we have an election coming up. Right. You couldn't hold this until November. You want to sway this election and give anti-progressives who are trying to take Gascon out fuel to the fire. Because why? Because he's trying to hold police officers accountable and you think they went too far. This couldn't, it's...
Yeah.
help me digest this. I don't get it. What is he doing?
Yeah, it sounds extremely suspect. It sounds really sus, as the young folks will say. And, it sounds really politically motivated as well.
Yeah.
I mean, he must have been under a lot of like pressure and phone calls every day to get these charges moving, these 11 charges. And George Gascon's opposition, Nathan Hochman, is a real like law and order, like a former prosecutor. Who knows if he's really behind this effort as well, being that he vows to be tough on crime, and this probably going to be painted as undermining law enforcement and whatnot.
Right,
so
right. And prosecutorial overreach.
Right.
But I mean, it's the targeting of progressive district attorneys is a nationwide phenomenon. You look at Marilyn Mosby. She did some paperwork things that supposedly improper, and she's facing 40 years in prison.
Whoa.
Meanwhile, Trump can, get millions of dollars for lying on his paperwork about how much his real estate is worth. And, yeah, I mean, he does have a rather large fine at the moment, but still the leading contender for president.
Right.
I get that, and I get that progressive prosecutors are being targeted from San Francisco to Baltimore, but you don't expect a progressive attorney general to do that.
Right. Yeah, it definitely was like not a good look for him and his base. I really don't know all who donated to Rob Bonta. I'm imagining he probably didn't get money from like, police, unions or associations or political action committees. But I feel like in this situation, he was probably under an immense amount of pressure from law enforcement groups due to the upcoming election and due to the fact that they want Nathan Hochman in that seat to further prosecute these smash and grabs and really go after and criminalize homelessness, criminalize poverty.
Sensationalize the smash and grabs because it's nowhere near as big a problem as it's portrayed. Right. It's just great footage. News agencies love to see, young black people running and,
Right.
Yeah, I'm, running and stealing and being portrayed as little criminals.
Right. And not really looking at the underlying issues of, why this uptick in crime is happening, really analyzing some of the policy decisions that is not creating access and, opportunity for people that are in poverty. Instead, just business as usual. So, yeah, I do think this is extremely politically motivated due to the upcoming election, due to who is running against George Gascon, and Rob Bonta caved in to the pressure, the immense amount of pressure. I don't know what they had on him. Maybe they had some on him. I don't know, but who knows? But, yeah, I hope that, that they don't try... if they could do it to MRT, man, like,
yeah, that's real talk. Of course, MRT is black, which there's a little delineation there, or a big delineation, I should say. But no, I mean, it's a good point. What I hate about this is, first of all, the charges are not against Gascon.
Right.
But he's the one that will pay the price at the ballot box and have this used against him. Second of all, they supposedly improperly access data about the LAPD, which we should have full transparency on.
They're a public agency.
Yeah,
they're
tax
funded.
Especially when it comes to holding them accountable for killing people. But this is going to be, like you said, it's going to be spun as some, they're doing overreach. They're breaking the law, and they are the law. And
yeah, I mean, his party, his camp or her camp is going to have to really do a good job at like controlling the narrative here, and like getting in there and not just letting this story run rampant, and possibly changing the mind of some voters who are like, on the fence about some of the upticks that they see sensationalized on the news. So they're going to have to get up in there and like talk about the other, what's going on. They're going to have to get in there and speak up, because this is damaging. And the Times, of course, they jumped on the article. I really don't know what's going on with them, but
my understanding is a battle between the editorial side and the old school journalists. And those old school journalists, mostly not Black or Latino. The old school journalists are much more conservative, even though they claim to be objective.
Right.
And then the editorial side is more left-leaning and more not as white. So from what I understand, there's a sort of an internal battle going on there at the LA Times.
It's hard to be objective when your values are a certain way. You know, if you have these belief systems, it's like, how could you be objective? You know?
We can only see the world through our own eyes, is what I say. There's, you can be fair, but nobody's objective. We got news, traffic, and sports, and then Sherri Bell and I will return on KBLA Talk 1580.
More of First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
I'm Mike Moore. Here's the latest from the Black Information Network. Hundreds of people across the U.S. have been arrested in the past 2 weeks for protesting the Gaza war. Anti-Israel protests have sprung up across the country since the NYPD arrested over 100 demonstrators at Columbia University on April 18th. The New York Times reporting protesting students have been setting up tents at campuses across the country. An autopsy shows Chicago, Illinois police officers shot Dexter Reed 13 times during a traffic stop last month. The Cook County Medical Examiner's Office released the African-American's autopsy yesterday, 5 weeks after he was shot and killed. An officer was shot in the wrist during the incident. An attorney for Reed's family claims the results of the autopsy demonstrate that these officers used excessive and unreasonable force. And that's the latest. I'm Mike Moore from your 24/7 news source, the Black Information Network and BINnews.com.
Visit Chevrolet of Montebello for spring savings. Lease a 2024 Chevy Trax for $249 per month or a Chevy Equinox for only $199 per month. Visit ChevroletofMontebello.com for details. Together, let's drive.
At Chevrolet of Montebello.
Is this the time? This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
A painful reality has made its way to Lakers Nation. The Lakers just aren't good enough to beat the Denver Nuggets. The Nuggets won by 7 at Crypto.com to take a 3-0 lead in the best-of-7 playoff series. This is the first time in LeBron's 21-year career that he's down 3-0 in the first or second round. If the Nuggets win Game 4 Saturday, the Lakers are done for the season. The Nuggets have beaten the Lakers 11 straight times, including 7 straight times in the playoffs. What is up with D'Angelo Russell? In Game 2 at Denver, Russell dropped a career-high 7 3-pointers. Last night, he couldn't bust a grape. Russell was 0 for 7, including 0 for 6 on 3-pointers. He was scoreless the entire night. Not a good stat line for Russell's resume when the Lakers front office decides whether or not to bring him back next season. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. More news, opinions, and conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
When you use Bounce dryer sheets and your clothes look amazing, it's the sheet. Less static in your life? Yeah, it's the sheet. Smelling fresher than ever? It's the sheet. Oh, so soft fabric? Ooh la la. It's the sheet. Less wrinkles on your clothes? You know it's the sheet. Bounce dryer sheets. More freshness, more softness. Less static, less wrinkles. It's the sheet.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies candidates with the right skills, sends you great matches, then you can easily invite them to apply. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. See for yourself. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
It's time for California Community College's Black Student Success Week. This week-long event held April 22nd through the 26th is an opportunity to focus on innovative approaches to ensuring Black and African American students succeed in their educational pursuits. Black Student Success Week 2024, building a better future together. The urgency is now. For more information, visit blackstudentsuccess.com. That's blkstudentsuccess.com.
May is National Foster Care Month. You can help a child in need of a loving, safe, and nurturing home by becoming a foster parent, providing the support children need to be successful in life. Black children are disproportionately represented in foster care. When placed with families in their community, they have better outcomes to thrive. FosterLAKids.org or 888-811-1121. Again, 888-811-1121. Call today.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online at hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation to determine the ED medication that's best for you. Discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and a range of treatment options, including trusted generic alternatives to the name brands, at up to 95% off. ED is personal, and at Hims, so is treating it. Just go to hims.com/joy and get connected to a licensed medical provider online for free, with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. hims.com/joy.
So you just used bug spray in your home. Now what? Well, between the waiting and waiting for things to dry up and keeping your family away from the mess, it hits you. You could have used Zevo. Unlike other bug sprays that stick around, Zevo goes from kill to clean in seconds. Plus, it's safe for use around people and pets when used as directed. Zevo, people-friendly, bug-deadly.
Thanks for waking up with Dominique DiPrima on KBLA Talk 1580.
Yes, it's me, Dominique DiPrima, and Sherri Bell. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday, y'all. Hey, let's go to Dwight from Compton on the line. What's up, Dwight?
Good morning. Good morning. Happy Friday to you, Sherri, and happy Friday to you, Dominique. And shout out to Miles, Tavis, and everyone there at KBLA. Thank you for the inspiration.
Okay, don't forget Amandla. You see Amandla back there. She's with us on Fridays now, too. What?
Amandla, thank you, too. And thank you, Dominique, for the inspiration, the information you give us. And, Dominique, you are so right. Sometimes I think the Democrats follow the rules too tightly, and the Republicans don't follow the rules at all. So, like you said, sometimes we got to just, let things slide like the Republicans do.
Or time it. At least time it.
Yeah, time it.
November 15th, boom, 11 charges, whatever you trying to do.
Yeah. And you see how the Supreme Court is trying to call the January 6th Capitol attack a Trump official act. I mean,
these people.
That is not part of the presidential duties to overthrow the government.
Right.
I mean, ain't that some crazy stuff? Oh, Sherri, I love your inspiration that you give us and your information you give us too. But Dominique, this Supreme Court, I mean, these Republicans are just making the rules up as they go along. I mean, How can you say an attack on the Capitol to overthrow the government because you lost the 2020 election to President Joe Biden, an official act? I mean, these people is going completely
I mean, the U.S. Supreme Court showed their behinds yesterday. I really think they pulled up their robes and just mooned America. That's how I felt.
Oh, wow.
I'm sorry to give you that graphic, but I don't include Ketanji Brown Jackson in that, nor Sotomayor, but the rest of them.
Wow.
Oh, it's the Republican judges on the Supreme Court.
Right.
And if the president had that much power, then okay, Joe Biden, let's make the child tax credit official act. Let's make Medicare for all an official act. Let's make the billionaires pay a minimum 15% tax on their wealth official act. Let's make reparations for the descendants of the slaves an official act, and let's make ending voter suppression, gerrymandering, purging voters an official act, and let's make it illegal to discriminate because of race, because of religion, because of gender, because of nationality. Let's make all that stuff an official act. Since we're making stuff official acts, how about making all that stuff an official act, Dominique?
Well, yeah, I just wanted to say, Dwight, I seen that Judge Sotomayor on the Supreme Court asked Trump's lawyer if if a president says a rival corrupt is a rival is corrupt, right? Like maybe somebody who's running against him, or somebody who he considers a rival, and orders their assassination. Is that within his official acts?
And the lawyer basically said yes.
Yeah, they said, but yes, he said it would depend on the hypothetical, but we can see that well being an official act.
Right. So Trump could kill Nikki Haley, Joe Biden, Vivek Ramaswamy, all of them.
See, yeah,
and you got to be impeached first before you can be committed a crime. So I guess the president just decided to kill his wife. They're gonna let him stay in office,
or somebody else's wife. I mean, here's the thing, Dwight. That is
his girlfriend in the White House, I guess.
That is authoritarianism. That is straight up authoritarianism.
It's not democracy.
No.
Yeah, I mean, I think that what we're seeing, Dwight, and it's like how people can take something like the Bible, people can take something like the law, and they'll make arguments to twist it and manipulate it into doing whatever they want, and instead of thinking with logic, like common sense.
So crazy. They just throw common sense out the window. Everything is not common sense no more. I mean, Republicans get to do whatever they want to do, and Democrats can't do nothing. They
well, I wouldn't go that far, Dwight. We do something. No. You can't say we can't do. We are not getting credit for what we are doing. Joe Biden did pass an infrastructure package, which is, he led the passage of that in Congress, which is going to help with the greening of our infrastructure, is going to help places like Flint, to have clean water, is going to help make sure that our electricity grids don't go down like they did in Texas a couple of years ago, where people were literally freezing when Ted Cruz ran off to Cancun. I mean, Joe Biden is actually refunding student loans. I don't know, not that I'm a big Joe Biden stan, but for some reason he's not getting the credit for the stuff he is doing. They just enacted that new labor law, overtime law. That was this week, where like millions of Americans are now going to be eligible more for overtime. Why does nobody care? It's not the Democrats can't do anything. It's that we don't play dirty as much as they do. We don't lie as much as they do. And maybe we need to do more of that. Let me take that back. God forgive me.
I mean, as far as the Supreme Court, Dominique, I didn't mean the Democrats don't do anything, because President Biden has got us a VP, black woman VP of Supreme Court justice. He's given us child tax credit, college debt relief, jobs. I mean, he's done so much, but
Ketanji Brown Jackson.
The media is just owned by Republicans. They don't report none of that stuff. And they cover up everything the Republicans do and don't show none of the good stuff the Democrats are doing. And as far as you said, Dr. Abdullah and Dr. West, I like their information, but I'm kind of worried about them, like you said, Dominique, taking some of the black votes away. But I hope their information.
Well, I didn't say it. Other colleagues said it, but yeah.
Yeah, I hope all the information they give us is going to the Democrats, where they can say, oh, yeah, we do need to focus on the things that Dr. West and Dr. Abdullah are talking about.
I mean, that's what happened with Bernie Sanders, right?
Yeah.
I just, I think you're right. We have to be better at talking points. As progressives, we have to be more aggressive. I don't mean to say we should be lying. I'm not saying that.
Right.
But we have to be more aggressive and more creative with our talking points.
But you know what I'm getting from you, Dwight, and just listening, is that democracy is not synonymous with like black liberation, right? Just because you're a Democrat in political power doesn't automatically mean you're going to fight for what black people or, other people of color are going through. So, just because we have a Democratic president, you would think common sense, well, why would he, or like a Democratic progressive DA, why wouldn't they wait to hold the charges? Well, that we're operating in a system of white supremacy, and their actions doesn't always reflect what we think they should reflect, right? So, it's a political system. So I just think that, democracy is not synonymous with like civil rights activists or like their position. So they only will go so far. Like, they will only go so far
unless we push them.
Unless we push them. So, yeah.
Hard. I mean, a lot of the positions Joe Biden's taking that I like and you like only happened because of Bernie Sanders and all of us standing behind those, policies that Sanders was putting out, that the progressive wing of the party, the AOCs, the Cori Bushes, the Summer Lees were putting out. And they started co-opting those positions because they saw they're popular with the American people.
Right.
Let's go to Kathy from LA. Hi, Kathy.
Hi, my name is Kathy, and I was calling in to explain, working with Local 300, I've been having a lot of problems, and they won't let me pay my payments.
What union is Local 300?
Laborers.
Yeah, that union, I think I know who this is, Kathy. Yeah, the laborers, I mean, unfortunately, they've been long criticized as being very, anti-black. They don't really have any black union staff members, and a lot of black workers within that union have felt, feelings of isolation. I'm maybe they're working on it, but I remember a lot of issues from Local 300 members just being on the dispatch list and not being dispatched. I would say, Kathy, that you can call your local senator. Maybe they can intervene, your local elected official, like on that level, to try to intervene on that, and try to, because they might need a lot of pressure from the top. You can reach out to me, and I can see how I can help you. But it's really going to take, holding them accountable to enforcing their rules in your collective bargaining agreement, and holding them accountable and opening up an investigation and looking into this matter, because they don't have a good track record in the black community, unfortunately, and they still got a lot of work to do. So I'm sorry to hear that you're going through this, because I know you're hardworking.
Yes. And I still work. I'm working right now, but they're trying to stop me from working so I won't pay my payments. And I normally pay my payments in months.
Because you're not getting the work, so you can't pay your payments, right?
No. I am working. What I'm saying is, this is like the end of the month that I have to pay again. So I'm trying to pay, and they won't let me.
Oh, that's weird. So, I mean, it's not weird if they're trying to push you out. So, do you know who your state senator is, or your assembly person?
No.
Okay. Do you know where? Well, I don't know if you want to say what kind of area you live in.
I live in Los Angeles.
Okay, I would need to know more specifically in order to tell you who your state.
Try to hit up Lola Smallwood Cuevas. See if her staff can intervene and try to.
She's probably one of the most pro-labor state senators in California.
Right, and has a lot of areas in South LA.
She used to be over the Black Workers Center.
Right,
in fact, she was one of the founders of it.
Right.
I know.
Yeah.
I used to go there a lot.
Yeah, but I mean, I find
having problems for a long time.
Right. Yeah, I mean, if it feels like this needs to be addressed, it could be something small. I don't understand why they won't take your payment. I don't know if you're delinquent. Are you in the red?
No.
Yeah.
I pay like 5 months, so they'll leave me alone.
Okay, so it sounds like you should reach out to Sherri Bell.
Yeah, reach out to
and
me.
And also reach
We're
out
friends
to
on Facebook, I think.
And then reach out to, if you can, reach out to Senator Smallwood Cuevas' office.
Because they supported her, actually. Yeah, I worked with them. They're not perfect, but they are, politically, trying to progressive.
Oh, you're saying Local 300 supported Lola Smallwood Cuevas. Yeah. Well, and the anti-blackness in some of these unions, especially, I mean, this is laborers, but some of the Hollywood unions for sure, it does need to be addressed.
Right.
As progressives, at least for me, I'm pro-union, but I still need you to do the right thing. It's like what you were saying about the Democratic Party. It's not automatically, on a mission to end anti-blackness. It's not automatically purging itself of white supremacy. That's what we have to hold them accountable for.
Right. Yeah. Like I learned the new word. What is it called? Tantamount.
Oh, you like that? Yeah, that's a good
it's like
one.
Equal. Like
that's the Tavis Smiley word right there. Yeah, I want to talk about USC canceling their graduation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
Say the
quiet part out loud. KBLA Talk 1580.
Pizza's here. Oh, great. I'd love some, but I'm worried about my stomach issues.
If you're worried about having diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools, it may not just be stomach issues. It could be a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
We used to argue about whose turn it was to clean the gutters, but then I had Leaf Filter gutter protection installed.
Wait, I told you Leaf Filter had free inspections and estimates and a lifetime guarantee.
Meaning we never have to argue about whose turn it is to clean the gutters again.
But I visited leaffilter.com/beacon first.
No, I did.
It doesn't matter who. Visit leaffilter.com/beacon to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off today.
See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
We asked seniors how to prevent Medicare scams.
My best advice, if you get a phone call, do not talk to the person. These people are well-trained. Don't talk to them.
They don't know me. They're just trying to scam me.
Don't be fooled. Hang up. Just hang up.
Never give out your Medicare number.
They're going to get your number to put in a false claim.
If I get a call from someone, I don't pick up the phone, and should I pick up the phone and they ask for information, then I hang up.
How do you detect Medicare fraud?
Just like I check my credit card statements, I check my Medicare statements monthly.
Scammers can get a hold of your number, order medical devices through your account, and you're not even going to know about it if you don't look at your statement.
Check your statement every month. If you get your statement and you see something that you know you did not have done, you report it.
Call your senior Medicare Patrol.
To report Medicare fraud, call the Senior Medicare Patrol at 855-613-7080.
The California Crusader newspaper would like to thank all of our subscribers for their support throughout the years, proudly serving the South Los Angeles and South Bay areas for more than 40 years. The California Crusader is a multicultural, black-owned, adjudicated newspaper that focuses on providing newsworthy information to the people in our community. We're constantly looking for ways to assist businesses in our community to connect with our subscribers. We provide low-cost, effective ways to promote your business with our reasonable and affordable advertising rates. You can participate by suggesting, sharing, and submitting your stories on the California Crusader newspaper Community Share Facebook group page, or visit our website at cal-cruise-news.com. That's calcruisenews.com. Then click on the Submit Now button located on the top right corner of the homepage, or text CCN to 42828. Again, text CCN to 42828. The California Crusader newspaper, working together to build a better community for our future. Subscribe today.
Imagine with me here for a minute the most beautiful panoramic setting. Maybe it's an endless ocean, waves crashing on a beach, or a crystal clear mountain lake, peaceful and quiet. Or maybe it's just little kids playing in the park down the street. Wherever your imagination takes you, now imagine right smack in the middle of this perfect picture, a piece of litter. Just one piece right there in the middle of it all. Doesn't exactly fit, does it? In fact, even though it's just one piece, now it's all you can see. That one piece ruins everything. And that's the thing about litter. It doesn't take much to ruin everything. One thing's for sure, it simply does not belong anywhere in California. So here's the good news. If we work together, we will change it. We don't have to let litter, even just one piece, ruin your perfect picture. Not anymore, not ever again. Clean California, zero litter is the goal. Brought to you by Caltrans and CleanCA.com.
This is KBLA Talk 1580, where everybody is somebody and nobody is a stranger. You belong here.
And Sherri Bell is with me. I'm Dominique DiPrima. You're welcome in. 800-920-1580, 800-920-1580. I'm thinking about young people like my own child who were in high school during the emergency phase of COVID, did not get to have prom, did not get to have traditional graduations, really got robbed of their high school experience. Now many of those children, if they go, they're not children anymore, I guess young adults, if they go to USC, are getting robbed again because they announced yesterday they're canceling their main graduation in May because of the protests on campus. But really, I see this as their fault. This all started when they when they canceled valedictorian Asma Tabassum and said, safety concerns. And of course, there's protests going on, and now they started uninviting speakers, and finally they've canceled it. I hate this. I hate this for the students. So what are your thoughts?
Well, I do think it's really unfortunate. I mean, I think that they could have probably worked around it if they had concerns about what she was going to say and how will it impact some of their donors. They could have tried to work through it. But, this is a very, very sensitive topic with very strong opinions on either side, right? You have the Jewish students, who feel threatened, like they can't, wear their the stars, or their yarmulkes on their head because they feel like they're going to get targeted because of the anti-war sentiment. But and then you have Palestinians who feel like Israel is like utilizing the power behind them from the U.S. with the military assistance to kill innocent women and children. But then you have some people in the Jewish community who have like totally different feelings about like anything that what we heard in the media, right? Some people feel like Hamas is allowing innocent women and children to be exposed.
Yeah, I mean,
it's so much going on.
There's a lot going on, Sherri. This is obviously not new. This conflict between, Israel and Palestine goes back to 1948 when this state of Israel was established, and it's been going back and forth. Right now, we're in a different moment in time because the student protests are nationwide,
right?
And it's not just the students, but it's playing out heavily on these campuses. And I feel like the faculty, the administration are just handling this terrible. Are you actually a president of Harvard, of Columbia, of USC, these elite institutions? You can't sit down with student delegations and start negotiating, about what, because they're calling for divestment. They want the universities to stop investing in companies that support, the Israeli government. That's not anti-Semitic per se. Now, I know some anti-Semitism may flare up during the course of those protests, anti-Arab, anti-Muslim sentiment. All that is wrong and bad, and I don't think that's, I don't think anyone that's truly progressive needs to debate that. But what are you doing? How are you calling the police on students?
Just ignoring it.
Closing graduations, going virtual. I'm so happy to see some faculty members out there supporting students, and I just think this could be a teachable moment. Sit down, negotiate, let's talk about it. Right. But what they're really doing is they're kowtowing to donors.
Right.
And, and the donors, for the most part, the donors are supporting Israel, and they are threatening to withdraw funding. Right. And college, college is big business now.
Right. I mean, it sucks that this has to happen, that people can't have a conversation without automatically jumping to like being targeted or that, like you can't talk about the political issues that are happening without bringing one's religion or race.
I don't even. Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
I mean, that's where the anti-Semitism and
it doesn't automatically
Islamophobia comes in. But I think the real issue is money.
Yes,
money. Because college is so expensive, almost no one can afford it. These universities, they're kowtowing to donors. That means you're basically letting donors make your policies,
right?
And it's all about follow the money, and they're fine with ruining students' lives. Saying, oh, this person should never get a job in a corporation, or suspending students for protesting, which is their right under our government system.
It's very, very, very complicated, and it's going to take a lot of talking, and you got to look at it more from like a human rights issue,
right.
But
some of it isn't complicated. Those students have a right to protest.
Right.
That ain't complicated.
Right.
I heard someone saying, I think it was on this station, if they were protesting about something else, they wouldn't be getting arrested.
I can't believe they took him to the hood like that.
You think if that was a Me Too protest, people mad about Harvey Weinstein getting his case overturned, they'd be throwing him in jail?
Right. And they
suspending them?
They took them to 77th Street Police Station. Them kids probably ain't been that far down the way. I was like, wow. I mean, I don't know who they was in there with, but that could be scary. But
that might be a teachable moment in itself. They're stupid, you know. They're radicalizing and penalizing students for doing what students are supposed to do.
Right. Yeah.
Participate in the democracy.
Right. It's very tough to have done that in that way, because these are students. They're paying to have an education there. It's not free. You know,
somebody's paying.
Well, I mean, somebody's paying.
Their parents are paying.
Somebody's paying on their behalf, and you know, and for them to have been silenced, and I bet their parents aren't too happy that, you know, they're paying their tuition and they're getting locked up right for free speech. So it's fair. I really just hope that the killing stops.
Yeah,
that'll be awesome if like the murder and the bombing could just stop and then work through the things without violence. That would be totally awesome.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, Sherri Bell, the time flies when you come on with me. Thank you so much for being here this morning.
Yes, thank you for having me. And thank you all the people. I know we got our little community in the YouTube chat. Hello to y'all. Good to, you know, I know y'all was saying some good stuff in there and everything. And I hope everybody have a great weekend.
Sherri De La Ghetto, DiPrima Radio, and KBLA 1580, News, Traffic, and Sports. And then it's Freedman Friday on KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Mike Moore. Here's the latest from the Black Information Network. Hundreds of people across the U.S. have been arrested in the past 2 weeks for protesting the Gaza war. Anti-Israel protests have sprung up across the country since the NYPD arrested over 100 demonstrators at Columbia University on April 18th. The New York Times reporting protesting students have been setting up tents at campuses across the country. An autopsy shows Chicago, Illinois police officers shot Dexter Reed 13 times during a traffic stop last month. The Cook County Medical Examiner's Office released the African-American's autopsy yesterday, 5 weeks after he was shot and killed. An officer was shot in the wrist during the incident. An attorney for Reed's family claims the results of the autopsy demonstrate that these officers used excessive and unreasonable force. And that's the latest. I'm Mike Moore from your 24/7 news source, the Black Information Network and BINnews.com.
Visit Chevrolet of Montebello for spring savings. Lease a 2024